So I'm so excited that you came on today because I really want to talk to you about the lawsuit. I have so many things to comment on about that. But how do you feel about doing a show that's a little bit more political, like that you've kind of, like, I know you try to do like at least one show that's non-political during your week, and then you have like two that are, or how's it working? And my question is, how do people that listen to your regular show feel about the politics show, especially when our country is so fucking divided and you're doing a show that is, decidedly liberal?
Okay, well, it's really it's a great question, but the truth is, even when I was at the arcade, Royce and I always tried to juggle doing the comedy aspect and then doing the politics. And I'm very passionate politically, so it's a hard thing. But seeing what's going on in the country right now, I really just felt that it was it's my mission to try and educate those independents and those Bernie bros, those people who, because they really need to know what's going on, and this corrupt dotard needs to be taken down. I'm sorry.
But do you really think, at this point, do you really think it makes a difference? I see it on my forum every day. There's half of this side, half of the other side.
Well, I do, Monique, because you see that's like, okay, so here's the thing. So if you say it doesn't make a difference, then we're stuck with just Fox News, right? So every little bit helps, and all like the Hal Sparks and the me and the John Fugelsang's and the Dino Obadalas, all the information that we provide really, educates people that might not be so educated. And listen, I have some friends who had voted for Trump in 2016, but they'll never do it again. And that's what the Lincoln Project is. And it's all old people. There's all these Republicans who see how corrupt this guy is. And, so yes, I do feel it's important that there's more liberal voices out there, because really you have the Rush Limbaughs and the Sean Hannitys. We need to offset all the bullshit that they spew out there on a daily basis.
I get that, but has it changed your... And you know what, guys? For the first time, that's not my police car on the outside like it normally is when I'm in the city. But do you feel like by being that way, you're alienating some of the people that would listen to your podcast when it's like just kind of the regular podcast?
Yes. And that's so when Biden wins, I will go back to doing the regular podcast, and then it'll be all about, entertainment, what I used to do, But up until November, and maybe even until January, because who knows, even if the dotard loses, that he'll leave, because he knows when he leaves, he'll be indicted. So we'll see, which is in the Mueller report. He said he is guilty of obstruction of justice, but it doesn't matter. As soon as Trump is gone, I will then I'll go back to strict entertainment. Because you know what, in my stand-up, Monique, I don't do any politics at all.
As well, you shouldn't. I got to be honest with you. That's the most divisive thing that you can possibly do. Might as well call everybody in the audience a kick and a pick and call it a day and drop the mic and leave. You can't do those things these days, and I think it's affected comedy tremendously. Are you going to go on the road? Are you going to do any of that stuff again?
Monique, all my gigs this year have been canceled, not because of COVID, because I didn't sell any tickets, but still. No.
You do know there are people on my forum that actually keep up with this shit.
No. But the truth is, and they're all misinformed. All my gigs have been canceled. Like I was supposed to be at the Hard Rock in Oklahoma, canceled due to COVID. I was supposed to be at the Boca Black Box, canceled due to COVID. Supposed to be at the Laugh Factory in Reno.
That's what I call that girl that was living with you for a couple of minutes there.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Look at you. But but
all Black Box.
All the gigs got canceled due to COVID. The only one I canceled was I was supposed to be at Side Splitters in Tampa, and the reason why I canceled it is because all the other one of the club off the hook, that went out of business, and then the other one, Boca Black Box, and the theater in Port St. Lucie, those got canceled due to COVID. So I wasn't going to come out to Side Splitters for a Wednesday night for what, 500 to $1,000 for one, fly all the way 3,000 miles for one gig. So I postponed that gig. But of course you get these haters and twidiots who go, oh, they canceled because John didn't sell any tickets. Wrong. I canceled Side Splitters and everything else was canceled due to COVID. So, but this is how, I have a new computer now, so maybe it'll work. I can see and log on to Radio Gunk because for some reason I could never seem to get on. But I see all the hate that comes towards me, from all your friends at Radio Gunk. And you know what the weirdest thing to me, and you and I discussed this last night, it's so bizarre to me because when I first did your show, you and I had such great chemistry and people loved me on Radio Gunk. And then slowly, it turns, and now you get these people who just hate me, and I don't even know why. I never damn thing.
Here's what you're not getting about it, okay? First off, every single one of your true haters is on the chat right this second, and they deliciously love to hate you. They just you know why? Because sometimes, and I love you, John, but you are so fucking thin-skinned sometimes about the stupidest little minutia that somebody says about you. Yet somebody could tell you you're a fucking cocksucker who gets it up the ass every goddamn night. You won't say a thing to them. But somebody on my forum says, oh, John sucks in his stand-up. He sold 12 tickets or something like that. And you'll immediately tweet me or call me and say, oh, these fucking people suck. And it's who cares?
Whoa. Okay, let's back up for a second because you're not being entirely honest here. So I have to call you out on it. First of all, initially, I would call you up because I didn't know that.
Initially, yes, that is true. And you have no idea that my Twitter is populated.
Right. Hold on, let me just finish the thought.
You thought it was me.
I thought it was you. That's why I would get mad because I'm like, why are you doing this? So that's for the most part. So as far as being thin-skinned, God, I've taken it from everybody from Howard Stern. I mean, I get beaten up all the time. I don't really care. The only thing there's certain things that will, hit a nerve. But for the most part, if you see my Twitter, come on, Monique, people are trashing me left and right.
Oh, sweetheart, I agree. And I have to be honest with you, if anybody ever throws up a post about your son or something, I immediately delete it. I mean, there's certain things that I know are going to trigger you to be upset. And I get that.
Yeah. And that's therein lies so whenever you have these people, I don't want to even acknowledge them with their names, but there are at least 3 or 4 who have no problem posting pictures of my children and then commenting and saying things about them. Here's the thing, Monique. My children did not choose to be in front of the camera. They're not actors. They're not performers. They don't want any, they're not out there, on TV shows or anything like the Trumps or whatever. Then, and the 2 of them are minors. Who the hell, what adult is going to trash them? And just to go back to Donnie Brasco, even the mob doesn't go after children. I mean, so to have these armchair, people in their parents' basements, these bullies to just, trash innocent children, that sets me off. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. Okay, I'm so glad we cleared that up because I have to tell you, sometimes, they'll just make a thread and then people will come in. Some will defend you. Most will, just pull screen grabs from whatever you've done that day. I mean, there was this one where you got so angry that you actually spittled and
I do that for comedic effect. They don't get it. I mean, people don't even even in the private parts, my scene in private parts. All right, so I'm stuttering and I'm spitting everywhere. After that take, Betty Thomas, the director, goes, John, can we do a take? Because you're spitting all over everywhere on that one.
That's the beauty.
I will, Betty, but guess what? You're going to use that one. Because I know that's going to get the laugh. So, yeah, sometimes I go on my rants, but they're not really I know I'm doing a show. I'm a performer. So, I'm not really as mad as I appear to be.
Oh, good. I'm actually glad to hear that. So I really wanted to talk about the lawsuit because I think this is really, really interesting. So my question is, number one, what what spurred this on? Like, what made this happen?
All right, listen. So, Monique, as you know, the start of my career began on the Stern Show, where I devoted 15 years to creating and or contributing some of the most memorable moments on the show. And you have to admit that. First, as a lowly unpaid intern, and later as a lowly paid writer and performer.
Yeah.
My average salary was about $35,000. But having continued to nurture my celebrity status and name recognition in the 16 years since leaving the show, SiriusXM should not be allowed to exploit my name, likeness, voice, and celebrity without permission or compensation by replaying nonstop from the Howard Stern Show archives my work to line their own pockets. And look, I didn't sign up for that, and enough is enough. Sirius has earned hundreds of millions of dollars off the backs of performers like me for too long. This isn't about me and Howard or his show per se. All I'm seeking is to be fairly compensated from Sirius for freely exploiting me since leaving the show. Thank you.
Was that a written statement?
Did that sound written?
Yeah.
Everyone says it. Like, I can't speak from the cuff, and they say it sounds written. I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. So why go after Sirius and not after Howard, or is it too late?
No, it's not too late. I mean, because Sirius is the one who's they're the ones who are making money and who are broadcasting this.
But he made a shit ton of money off of selling it. He made a shit ton of money off of selling it to begin with.
Listen, I'm suing SiriusXM. However they want to handle it is on them. But they're the ones who I'm suing. I mean, because they're the company that is broadcasting, using my name and my likeness, and are not compensating me.
So let me ask you a question. So let's go back. Let's go into the Wayback Machine when you were at K-Rock. That's where you started with him, right? At K-Rock. As you know, I talked to a lot of guys who have been with the show or prior to the show, whatever. And everybody tells me that they never signed anything. Yeah.
Okay, listen. I never signed anything which waived my right to compensation in perpetuity. I never signed anything at K-Rock. I never signed anything at E! I never signed anything when we had the CBS show. I never signed anything with Sirius because I wasn't even working there when they moved to Sirius. I never signed a single thing allowing them to, like Anthony Corbin goes on his show. And they're all, people don't understand. I never signed anything. You know what I mean?
Cyan's saying you signed an E-show contract. You told the story.
No, he's wrong. See, again, he's wrong. What happened was they asked me to sign a contract. Richard Bosch, Don Buchwald's agent, came, into the Jock Lounge, which we called it at K-Rock, and gave me a contract. Now, I had talked to my lawyer, Larry Shire, beforehand, and he said, do me a favor, don't sign anything. Tell him that you want to fax it to your attorney. So Richard Bosch takes the E contract out of his manila envelope, and then I said, listen, look, could you just fax it to my attorney, and then we'll go from there. He puts it back in the envelope and then leaves. So then I'm off the E! Show. 3 weeks later, I go with my tail between my legs and apologize to Howard. And then Howard said, yeah, John, don't listen to Jackie. And that was it. I was back on the E! Show. I never was asked to sign anything. So he's totally wrong. So he could go stick it. And it doesn't even matter because he has nothing to do with Sirius anyway. But anyway, doesn't matter.
But the question remains, you were never hired to be on-air talent, right? Like you weren't hired with that as a specified as what you would do.
Just ask me if I signed something, with E! I didn't. So,
no, I'm going back to K-Rock now. So in terms of like signing something at K-Rock, you were back office basically, right? I mean, you didn't come there as talent. You came there as an intern and you worked for the show.
Well, I was hired as an intern to do the mundane duties of cutting Howard's potato, but and parking Robin's car. But eventually, I got on the air. But I mean,
but that was not by them saying, "Okay, you're going to be an on-air talent now." It was just because you happen to have something that they wanted. You had a speech impediment of sorts, and you had balls. And
I had a charming personality.
So wait, so okay, so cut to you leaving, and now a lot of people always like confused about like the when you left portion of you leaving, because I thought that you had said on my podcast, or maybe us on your podcast, that you actually stayed kind of friendly with him for a while after you left and went to Leno, right?
Yeah. Well, this is typical. All right. So Howard decides to beat the crap out of Leno. I mean, I got, newspaper clippings and, where Howard just going nuts on Jay. Made it very uncomfortable for me. But I was still in good graces, with the Bowie and with Howard. But then came the Adam Carolla show where I talked about how, how we were like never really paid much. And then Howard would get mad if he did outside gigs. And that got on Howard's skin. Talk about thin skin. That's the thinnest skin you'll ever freaking see.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So then he goes ballistic, and now, start calling me everything in the book, so he goes crazy on me. Then for some reason, I can't remember what happened, but Susanna and I were out in the Hamptons at my brother-in-law's house. And I guess Susanna and Beth had worked it out. So then I ended up going to Howard's house in Southampton. So, and then we hugged, and then we made up, and then he gave me a tour.
How long after are we talking about? Like,
well, I can give you almost the exact date. Believe it or not, Monique, it was about 2009. So I go, so we had a great time, but it was a really, really nice time. It was very, very amicable. And Howard complimented me on how I was the best interviewer, and he was really, really like a good guy to me. He was even he was even saying that. He was mad that Jay wasn't paying me as we were waiting to go to the Jay Leno show, as you can recall. It was right in the time from when Conan took over. That's the time period that we're in, and right before we started the Jay Leno show. So everything was great again. Then, like the next year, I'm on Facebook, and then somebody is saying that Howard was saying that I was stealing bits from his show and using it on the Tonight Show. And he was specifically referring to the, who could pick the Super Bowl winner better, a chicken or Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that, first of all, that wasn't me. That was a writer named Kevin, who doesn't listen to Stern. But that's the oldest bit in the book. They've been doing that on radio since the 1950s. But it doesn't matter. People were accusing me and saying Howard was saying that I was stealing bits. So I said, that's not true. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's all I said. And then, Monique, he went through the roof, went on another tirade, trashing me, and we've never spoken again.
End of story. And did Susanna wind up actually maintaining a friendship with Beth?
Yeah, she's still friends with Beth, yeah.
Really? So did your ex-wife wind up remarrying, or what happened with that?
She was supposed to get married in July out in New York, but due to COVID. So now she's going to get married next year.
Oh, okay. Did you know that Howard's a grandfather now and that his daughter had a baby? Well, did I tell you this?
Yes, you did. And I knew exactly, as soon as you told me that his daughter had a baby, I knew exactly which one it had to be. And I guessed correctly that it was Deborah.
The pretty one.
I'm not going to comment there. But honestly, Monique, I don't even know what any of them even look like.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. I promise you.
I'll tell you a funny story, Monique.
Yeah, go.
I guess when Howard was going through his divorce, he came over to my house in Bayville, and was like him and Ashley, maybe Deborah, I'm not sure, but so they wanted to go for a ride on my boat. And my boat had just dealt with a nor'easter, so it was like broken window, jagged metal edges on the windshield. There was like glass on the floor.
Jesus Christ.
So I get Howard and Ashley, who I'm taking them for a ride around the Long Island Sound. It's like, here's this multimillionaire and my like piece of crap 15-foot bay line, and I just like.
Don't you feel like he's a bit of a schnurr when it comes to shit like that? Like, it's like, rent a goddamn boat and take everybody out on it, or do something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel it's so weird that he would think coming to your house and going on your boat would be like a thing. That was he divorced at this point? Right. He must have been. Yeah.
I guess either he was, or he was in the middle of it and we didn't know. I remember I found out about his divorce when I was jogging in Bayville, and I guess it was in the winter, and they announced it on 1010 News, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And we should have known. You know what's so weird? We were all in the studio in the commercial break. Howard said to all of us, "I bet you I can tell you the next person on this show to get divorced. I'll write the name down, and I bet you that I'll be correct." And then we were all thinking, well, I don't know, like you can see Baba Booey's head spinning because,
of course,
because you know how guilty he is. So
exactly.
So we all didn't know who he was talking about. It turns out he was talking about himself.
Really? So let me ask you a question. Did you know, or did you think, or did anybody have an idea that maybe he was actually seeing Beth before he got his divorce?
Well, that's the whole thing. No, and I still don't know the answer to that because, I don't know what the truth is to any of that. Like, I mean, you probably know more about it than I do.
Well, I'm thinking that you would know more about it simply because you were, you and Susanna were actually friendly with him. But did he come out with her close to around the divorce time, or he loves to say that he went on this mad tear, which I don't believe at all.
Oh, I do. Because I know he was with Angie Everhart,
right?
Because he was once complaining that. One of the nights that she slept over, he came home after the show and she was still lying in bed and he was pissed off she hadn't gotten up yet.
Yeah, AJ Benza told me that story. I love that story.
Yeah, and I know that when we went to his house, his condo, that Robin Givens was there. So I know that. And I also heard rumors, but these are rumors, it's alleged that he was with Miss Howard Stern. Or one of the Miss Howard Sterns. I'm sure he did. I mean, I'm sure
I heard a good one the other day. I'm actually going to wait on it to make it into a blind item when we do our scores special, because I've heard some things about Howard's antics at scores, even while he was with Beth, after past the divorce.
But trust me, I know a lot of the antics that went on there. I mean, I don't want to mention the names, but let's just say it was like Caligula. I mean, I'm not going to break the man's code here, but let's just say, there wasn't a lot of faithful people in that room.
I'm going to break the bro code. And you know what? I can, because I have no allegiance or loyalty to any of those fuckers. So I do not care one iota. Iota.
I've already admitted what I did. I even told Susanna when we were married because she asked me, and I told her all. All.
This guy John just says Caligula.
Caligula. I'm self-ligger.
Okay, so
and then I know as a fact that he also had sex with one of the actresses in Private Parts. So
I know everybody talks about the Mary McCormick thing, but I don't. I know Grillo has said that a few times. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with that one.
Okay, well, you know what? You should agree with it. That's all I'm going to say.
But she's still friends with them. She goes to their house in the Hamptons. I
know. Look. I'm not even going to. Let's just say I heard from a very good source. But it's all alleged. I'm not going to. Who knows? But I've heard that there's somebody on that was in Private Parts who he's been with. I'm not. But again, who knows? I believe that he went on a tear. but I don't know. Because it's not like he went and talked about it to any of us. The only person he probably talked to it about was the Berry Boy Ralph. It's not like Howard would come in and say, "Hey, guess who I was with last night?" But just from the rumors I'm hearing, I would say that he went on at least a mini tear,
a little tear. And I always love the story about Grillo and Ralph actually banging a girl at their old apartment, but I can't even imagine for my life that Ralph isn't fucking gay. I seriously don't believe that he's not gay. I just don't.
I don't know. I think he's bi-curious.
Curious? Listen, yeah. I'm sorry. Once a penis actually goes past the sphincter demarcation on another man's asshole, you're no longer curious.
Can we get back to something more comfortable to talk about, like a lawsuit?
Oh, sure. Okay. So, come back to me.
I just want to say this is a right of publicity case, not a copyright case.
Okay, I totally understand that. So going back to like e-shows and even like Howard on Demand shows, were you guys paid extra for being on those shows?
On what?
Either E or Howard on Howard TV.
Oh, E, I made $200 a week.
Additional.
$200 a week. Yes, I made $10,000 a year from E.
Jesus Christ. I wonder how much Howard made from the Fike and E show.
And, I think Jackie, I could be wrong. I think Jackie said he was making, I think he said $25,000 a year.
A year.
Or maybe it was 50, but I know that he was at the Friars Club and he was hanging out with a bunch of comics and, he was pissed off. And they're like, Jackie, $50,000 a week, you should be ecstatic. He's like, a week? That's a year.
Jesus Christ. And you know how much money the E show made for E and for Howard?
I think Baba Booey was getting $15,000 a year from E. Very, very, very,
nominal.
Yeah, it was minimal. I mean, that's how it was there. I mean, that's.
And then what about the pay channel? What about the Howard TV pay channel? Like,
I wasn't there during that.
Oh, so they never played like repeats or anything that was
They did, but I wasn't there for it. But they played me all the time on there too.
Jesus Christ. I just don't understand how that works. So a couple of people have this question and I keep seeing it pop up, but are you concerned that if for some reason you lose this case, there's always been kind of this precedent that's set where if you file a lawsuit that winds up being, and not saying that it is, but winds up being deemed frivolous, that you actually have to pay the court fees for the other side? Are you worried about that?
No.
Okay. Do you think at the end of the day, you'll actually be able to get compensated for this? And do you think it'll be one of those things where you'll have an NDA and we'll never be able to have this fucking conversation again?
I have no idea, Monique, but I'll let you know through, I'll tap my foot the next time I see you.
Anjay,
I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that I'm right, and and they're wrong. It's been going on for too long, and enough is enough. I mean, I do this in good conscience.
Well, I for one truly believe that a lot. I think it was really courageous of you to do this. I'm glad somebody took it on contingent. Right. And I think that at the end of the day, there's a lot of other people from the Stern Show who are probably following this to see what happens with you.
Well, I don't know. I'm not talking to anybody.
No, I know that.
I mean, here's the thing, look, as a celebrity or any person has the right to control the use of their likeness, identity, and voice, not a third party. And that if someone is profiting from it, I should be compensated. I mean, it's very simple. And, and I have no idea what anybody else is going to do.
Yeah, because I tend to think that a lot of people that were on the show, especially during the Sirius years, probably had a little bit more of a tighter contract. Like all the news people, everybody knew that they were going to be on air. Therefore, they are on-air personalities. Everybody that's on the show who is considered on-air personalities, they probably had a contract when they got to Sirius. But I don't think Sirius did their due diligence at all to see whether or not people from previous iterations of the show had any kind of contract whatsoever, or if there was any kind of signed paperwork. You, especially during the K-Rock years, were a significant part of what not that you were meant to be that person, but you wound up being somebody who was part of the on-air crew. And I think you have every right to this case. I mean, we have the argument about this on my forum all the time.
Oh, I'm sure you do, but you got to let them know this is a right of publicity case. It's not a copyright case.
What does right of publicity mean exactly? What does that mean? Sharing your likeness?
Yeah, they, I mean, they can't be using my voice, exploiting my likeness, and everything else for profit, without compensating me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you think that they would cut off their nose to spite their face and go, well, okay, go fuck yourself. We will just basically eliminate you from any future shows. Oh, but they still have to think about the last 2.5 years, right? So I guess that makes the difference.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So, look, I mean, who knows? Like, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't care. I'm doing what I think is right and what my lawyer thinks is right. And I mean, they're wrong. So, no matter how you look at it. So, I mean, so we'll see what happens. I don't have a crystal ball, though.
I'm curious.
But the thing, Monique, the whole lawsuit is on my website at stutteringjohnmelendez.com. If anyone wants to read it, maybe they'll understand it more.
Yeah, we did read it, actually. There's actually a whole thread dedicated to it. It would be interesting for you to go in there and see it because some lawyers have chimed in just in terms of what their thoughts are. I can't tell you what they are off the top of my head, but a couple of people did chime in there to talk about what was going on there. So it'd be interesting for you to see that. Another question some people have asked me, and it's driving me insane because obviously it's people that love you so much that they need to know this. What the fuck is going on with your air conditioning? Like, everybody feels like when they see you on your show, you happen to have a little gleam of schwitz on you. So what's going on with your air conditioning? Okay,
here's the thing. Okay, Monique. And yes, I have central air conditioning, but here's the problem. I sweat in the shower. I am a sweater. And I mean, it's just, I always sweat. So there's nothing I can really do about it. But, I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter how cool it is. I mean, I would sweat in the winter in New York.
Because, of course, everybody's like, oh, John, he's such a cheap ass. He just probably doesn't want to put on the air conditioning and he's leaving a fan on and it's 95 fucking degrees outside. Really? What's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, no, look, my old man he didn't get central air until I was 15. And all we had was these old, the metal fans that you could lose a freaking finger in if you actually went too close to it.
Yes, so, another one.
I mean, he was such a cheap bastard. I mean, so I guess a little kind of rubs off on me because if I'm not that hot, I'm not going to turn on the central air because downstairs it's cool as a cucumber. It's just upstairs with where I broadcast from. It gets a little hot. And then I'm also too lazy to go downstairs and then turn the thing on and then go back upstairs because I usually wait to the last minute for everything. So
you do? What is wrong with you? I knew I was doing this with you. I put my AC onto a comfortable 70 or 69, whatever it is in here, so that I would be happy and comfortable whilst doing my show. What is wrong with you?
Well, right now I'm lying in my bed. I have one of those plastic fans that you get from RJ, and it's blowing air on my bare feet. And soon I'll watch the Yankees, hopefully beat the Mets, and then I'll go downstairs and start my afternoon siesta.
All right, so this is really, really interesting. So I'm really happy that you're doing the lawsuit. I, for one, am all Team John on this. Anything that can get some money out of the world's worst run company, I am all for. And then the question remains: do you think that he's going to resign at the end of this year?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Me personally, I think it's time he just leaves. But I don't know if his ego will allow him to do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think, but I mean, let's face it, the show ain't what it used to be.
No, this is true.
And, even the small clips that I've watched, it's really, really bad. I mean, even watching the guys, that are on there. I mean, I don't know.
I know. Don't you find it to be like this weird, almost sanitized version of what you guys used to do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like anything that they do is real. Nothing. It's all manufactured. It's all just fake bullshit. All of it.
Yeah, but again, I don't listen. I just saw like every once in a while they'll tweet something on Twitter, like, hey, Gary did this or whatever. And I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't seem genuine.
No, I don't think so. Did you see that picture of Shuley from his Instagram by any chance whatsoever?
No. And tell me, I don't see, more about all this. What's the deal with all those? Like, I don't know anything about Shuley or Sal and Richard. Like, what do they do now on the show? Are they seen a lot? Is Benji even seen? I have no idea.
No, he calls on them very, very infrequently. They're all on Zoom, I guess, apparently. And like Baba Flat High just got a knee replacement surgery or some shit like this. So he's using a cane. He's on all sorts of like prescription medicines.
Knee replacement. When the hell is he going to get teeth replacement?
I don't think that's a priority right now.
But I guess he wanted to deal with a smaller issue like the knee.
Exactly. To say nothing of the teeth. But yeah, so that's what they do. And I don't get it. Honestly, I'm not necessarily sure how they're going to be able to carry the crew of people that they have, with the kind of business that they do. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it at all. And so I don't know what's going to happen for going forward, but they keep saying that, everybody still wants Howard. Everybody still wants him on the show, to do a show in whatever capacity, he sees fit to do it in. So I guess that's the way it's going to work.
But he's doing it from home, isn't he?
He's doing it from home, and he still has 70 people on staff. So you tell me exactly what the fuck these people are doing, because I don't understand it at all.
That, that boggles the mind. I mean, I don't understand. I remember when Derek Jones, the guy that used to work with me on the Tonight Show, he was a writer, he was a writer's assistant, and they had some, I guess they had that some, what is it? What the hell you call that? Not after hour. Oh, a happy hour thing. And they got into this big fight. And then Derek, that's when the great Ronnie, the limo driver, told one of the guys that, hey, there's only one Stuttering John and you're not him. Do you remember that?
I do. Wait, I have to show you Shuley because you're just going to fucking die. Just hang on a second.
But Derek Jones, like he said, that he works his butt off 9 to 5 days a week. And I'm going, on what?
What can they possibly be working on?
No,
seriously.
I'm asking you. Are there a lot of comedy bits on there?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I so little listen to the show now because I hate everything about it.
What the hell? What?
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Is he like 90 years old now?
This is on my Safari, so I'm not going to be able to play the sound, but this was him just basically saying that he was going to be on. Can you hear this or no?
No, too bad.
No, I didn't think so. He was actually talking about doing some outdoor stand-up a couple of weeks ago. This was
God, look at him. How old?
Look at him.
I mean, God, I thought I aged badly, but this was horrendous. Oh, God. You are bad, baby.
Oh, this is him. How fucking funny is that? Oh, this kills me. This kills me. Yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea what goes on with him. And I kind of feel that the show, just as it stands today, cannot be a working model for the next 4 years. It just can't.
But again, let me ask you: is Shuley on a lot?
No, not really. And sometimes, Shuley's supposed to be like the whack pack wrangler kind of, but they gave a lot of that to Wolfie to do. And I don't know if it's I don't know. I don't know enough. Honestly, I don't. I don't.
Wait. Can you say that again? I missed
Wolfie.
it.
Wolfie is the guy that they in the past couple of weeks have been using a little bit more for like a whack pack wrangler than they usually do with Shuli. Shuli's whole thing seems to be like underdog lady and her obsession with him and I guess high pitch Eric. And that's all I know.
Underdog lady is still on the show.
No, she's not on the show. She'll talk to Mr. Shuli, but she will not go on the Stern show. She hates Howard. And Shuli, so the thing that I really despise about him is that he makes these people, he pulls them into his confidence and he makes them think that he's their friend. But all the time, meanwhile, all he's trying to do is, get them to say something kind of fucked up so that he can play it on air. And I don't appreciate that about him. I feel like it's such exploitation of these poor people that don't have a pot to piss in. You know what I mean? And he exploits them. He exploits them with being kind to them when in fact he's laughing at them and not with them. And so I hate that about him. I really do. I actually fucking despise it about him. I think it's disgusting.
And is he on the air a lot?
So JD is a weirdo, and we all know this. Like, he's a disgusting, perverted, gross fucking weirdo that I hate more than probably anybody else on that show. And I don't know. You know what? I can't even imagine. He just got married, 2 years ago or whatever. It was just the 2nd year anniversary. And they literally live in like a 400 square foot apartment. I can't even imagine how that works out, being like locked up with your wife for, I couldn't imagine that anyway, but being locked up, in a 400 square foot apartment where JD has to be on air every once in a while. And you know what? To me, he's absolutely the most inarticulate human being with Asperger's that has ever been on air. And again, I'm sure they exploit that because they love when they exploit somebody who's kind of fucked up like that. But I can't see him. I can't see him getting a real job after the show is over. I can't see him. He really wants to be a producer more than life itself. I'll never see that.
I just turned on your comments. I didn't realize.
Oh, you've been missing this?
Yeah. Oh, God. John gets me so furious.
I haven't even looked at the comments.
That's right. Suzanne Muldowney. That was her name.
Suzanne. That's exactly right. So, yeah. So he talks to her. They did some sort of embedded with that other one upstate who's disgusting.
It's so funny, Monique. Like, Fudge Sickle, forget turning on comments, turn on your AC. Like, it's like, this is the minutia that these people are, like, involved in is, like, my air conditioning.
Can I just tell you, Fudge Sickle fucking kills me. I'm not even sure if that's a guy or a girl. I'm not going to lie, because I tend not to know what anybody is on our site.
He spells Fudge Sickle wrong.
Maybe she meant to do that or he meant to do that. I don't really know.
Freaking stupid.
All right, don't be picking on my.
Why not? They get right about me.
Hey, listen. I never pick on your people when they call me the C word and all this other stupid shit.
Hey, look, Monique. This is another. This is one that's common among the Twitiots, and Fudgesicle, who can't spell Fudgesicle, has just said it. Like, at least I pay my child support, John. First of all, Monique, I paid my child support every month. Every single month. I don't know where it's somehow that people think I don't, but I have.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. People say that all the time.
I have no idea where it came from.
The AC and the child support, and apparently your toenails are a very, very big sticking point in my relationship with you.
Well, first of all, like, if these idiots would even realize that he could
spell Arias.
Can you? Yeah, I can spell Arias. I don't even understand what they're talking about. I have no idea where they get this. Like, well, that's probably what they're talking about. I once got served by my ex for arrears, and that was, like, what?
I just mentioned these people make me laugh so much. So wait, so how long ago was that, and why is this still being brought up?
I don't know, but that was on my. It's so funny. It was June 28th, and I go. I text my ex, and I go. This is our anniversary. I go, it's sunny day, June 28th. I hope you're well. Like, it was like a loving text, because it was our anniversary. About 2 hours later, I'm on my balcony and there's a guy at the bottom serving me for arrears, which were like because I was paying, I think like $6,800 a month in arrear, and then it went down to like 35, but we never signed, whatever. So then I got served for the like the balance of the 5 months. So I got served for like 20 grand or whatever. But I mean, that's the only thing I can think about. I've always paid my child support.
20 grand or whatever.
It could be 20, it was like 20 or 30 grand. But I mean, it's, of course I paid it. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what these people are talking about.
Well, I want to bring this up that somebody just threw up here. Is Jeff Ross a profile, former John co-star?
No, Fudge, no. But I could spell arrears. That's all you don't say. Yeah.
Okay, don't argue with chat that I don't have up on the screen because nobody understands what you're talking about. Let's talk about Jeff Ross for a hot second.
Okay, but I love talking to these morons. Well, hold on. I take that back. They're not all morons. It's just
they are not morons.
It's just the ones that they like, that hate on me. The other ones, are really, I know that a lot of your fans are fans of mine. Even the ones that hate me are still fans of mine.
And I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't even going to mention the freaking child support thing until you brought it up because you're reading the fucking chats. Just so you know. So brought it up.
But Monique, look, if I didn't pay my child support, I'd be in jail. Okay? It's that simple. Yeah. I mean, and you have my word as me to you. And I would tell that as one friend to another friend. I swear on my life, I pay my child support. And I don't know. My kids are the most important people to me. I would never, ever, not give them the money they need. I once went on this date with this girl who was like, I guess for one of the houses I bought or sold, like she was like the person and you sign all the documents. So I
it wasn't Boca Black Box, right?
No. Now, granted, the girl had a great body, but she had a bigger nose than Howard. I mean, she had like this huge nose. So, but whatever, she was cute. She just had like an enormous a proboscis or whatever you call it. So I'm on a date. I take her to Morton's, and after Morton's, then we go to the White Hart to play some darts, And then at one point she goes, "Wait a second, you're wearing Crocs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's the problem?" "Oh my God, that's so classless, Crocs." I'm like, you know what? They distract me from that huge freaking banana you got on your face.
I have a pair of white Croc sandals only because they were somebody wore them like in Vogue or something, and they were really like hot. So,
I love it. Lisa, C37. He wore Crocs on a date, like oh God, oh what a travesty.
Yeah, that is a travesty, John. No fucking lie, that is.
Hey,
the only people that should be wearing Crocs outside are like 400-pound fucking chefs. Seriously.
Look. It distracts me from my MySpace account. What the hell do you want from me? I mean, I'm like, I don't care. But I mean, like, I'll wear sandals. I'll wear my flip-flops and long pants. I remember I did a podcast with Tammy Pescatelli and Howie Mandel, and then we took a picture. And I know all these twidiots are getting on me for wearing sandals and jeans. Like, apparently that's a fashion faux pas.
What kind of sandals? Fully open toe or like with a little split?
Like, like the flip-flops, like the ones that you just wear with that like you have the thing that goes in between your big toe and and then the middle toe, like any flip.
Like Ocean Pacific kind of flip-flops or
like the ones that have the bottle opener on.
You went out to eat with that on?
No, I went out to eat with the Crocs that one night, but I'm just talking about when I did my interview with Howie Mandel, I was wearing those flip-flops. Who the hell cares?
Everybody cares. John, everybody cares, okay? I don't know why, but everybody fucking cares. And by the way, the fact that you wore Crocs out on a date, probably a topic of conversation on the forum just now. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I don't care though, but it's funny. I mean, it happened 10 years ago, whatever, but it's about 7 years ago. Look, I love this one, Oceanside, Florida. John, please visit an Asian foot salon for your toes. Now, okay, first of all, I did once with my daughter.
Molly Ringworm just said, Bill Maher once said people wearing Crocs won't be happy.
I know. I saw that.
Somebody just wear a diaper.
I know. But look, but so Monique, I take my daughter to the, to get a pedicure. And I have my toes out, and my daughter is so embarrassed because they're literally like using like a hand sander that they're grinding out the toes to be able to clip them.
A Dremel. They're using a fucking Dremel on you.
Yeah, but I once had the greatest. I thought would be a great practical joke when we were on the show. As you can recall, Jackie the Joke Man got all his toenails removed from a doctor.
Yes, he was like a cat. He got all his fucking nails.
Yeah, from a doctor in Penny Saver, no less, the free newspaper. So he gets his toenails taken off. I thought the funniest thing would be a candid camera going with Jackie to a nail salon and go to get a pedicure and watch these people go, what the hell?
John, seriously, if you're having like some sort of toe deficit thing going on, there are so many fucking Korean nail salons probably within spitting distance of your apartment that you can just blow the $20, just like Delis just said, and get them pretty. Because you know what? The ugly toes are really, really, really unattractive on a man. On anyone.
Okay. Now listen, if I'm gonna go on a date, I clip my toenails in case I get lucky. Okay.
Okay. Do you manscape as well? I'm not even sure I want to know the answer, but yeah. Tell me.
Yes, I do. I manscape. I cut the toenails. As you know, I work out almost every day. I'm in top physical condition. So I wear a suit and tie to some dates. And nice shoes, not Crocs. I haven't worn Crocs since Schnazzola made fun of me for them. But I didn't know they weren't hip. How the hell do I know? I know that on ER they always wore Crocs. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. But I don't wear them on a date anymore. Now I wear a nice jacket and a collared shirt. Of course I got to look the part.
Well, hey, it's a tough fucking world out there. And in the time of COVID, you got to look your absolute best. I have to come back to this because it's been on my mind because ever since somebody mentioned it before. But what's your thoughts on this whole thing with Jeff Ross?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, let's get off the Crocs.
Please.
You know what? Jeff Ross, Chris D'Elia, Joey Coco Diaz, all three. I don't even know what to say. Jeff Ross, 33 years old, he's with a 15-year-old. If that's true, God, that's bizarre, don't you think?
Don't you think that in the 80s and well into the 90s, anybody who is an actor, a comedian, a rock star, a musician, a singer, anything could get away with basically any fucking groupie that came to their door and be able to bang them, whether they were 14 or they were 30? You know what I mean? A lot of them got a pass. I feel like a lot of people got a pass back then. First off, the girl who told the story, who clearly is very flawed, right? So she's 15 and goes with her dad to California and starts hanging out like all night long at these comedy clubs with her dad. And then they give her a job there. And he didn't even send her to school. She just hung out and worked at this comedy club. And then she finally hooks up with Jeff Ross, who takes her to she's got the receipts though too. Bitch has receipts. She's got pictures with him. She's got pictures with his little Tribbley hat he used to wear. And that he invited her to all sorts of different roasts and stuff like that. So, and he's been super, super quiet on the low key side ever since this happened.
Okay. Oh, because I was going to ask you, because I don't know much about it, but did he know that she was 15?
I'm going to go with probably, because she looks it too. There's not really that much of a defining, like I just finished this most amazing podcast about Tracy Lords and how she was doing porn at 15 and she only did it for 3 years. And then the FBI came in and shut everybody down because they were worried that there were a lot of underage porn stars. And it's amazing to me how somebody like that, 15 years old, fucking away on film doing, and they had to remove all of her porn because she was underage.
Yeah, but the only thing I could say, well,
She looked 18. She looked 20. I mean,
yeah. See, that's the only look. Jeff Ross is a friend of mine. Okay, he was in my movie. He was a co-star in my movie. I work with him on the set. I mean, the only thing I could say, and I don't know anything about the case, is if the girl lied to him and said she was 18, then that's the only defense.
Now, this was an ongoing relationship. It wasn't just like a one night stand. She used to hang out at the nightclub. Everybody knew that she was a little bit on the young side.
The nightclub?
She used to hang there with her father, and the woman who owned the nightclub let her be there, let her hang out there. She never even went to school. She would just go there, and she would work the door, take the money and stuff like that. And everybody knew she was 15. I'm going to go with everybody fucking was complicit in this. Everybody. And you know what? She fucked a 30-year-old. I knew at 15 not to fuck a 30-year-old, but I wasn't even fucking it at 15. But you know what I mean? Like there's a line.
I thought you were always honest with me.
What? I was 16. I'll admit it. I don't care. But there is a difference. There is a definite difference in a person's attitude, and Jeff Ross had to know that she was fucking young. That's all I know. But he's been very quiet about it. So
is it a criminal charge or is it a lawsuit? What is it?
I think it's just an embarrassment and a Me Too moment and something that she wanted to get off her chest because everybody is hyper empowered now to let the whole fucking world know everything about them and share way too much information so that we can all feel sorry for them. I'll tell you who I'm fucking hating more than life itself, though.
I hear something else, Monique, that I know it's not this, but I'm sure in high school, like when we were in high school, there were 12th graders who were 18 dating sophomores. And
I was that girl. I was a sophomore and I was dating a senior.
Really, they were breaking the law as well, but it's
not really. 18 is allowed, 18.
No, hold on. If a senior is 18 and he's stooping a sophomore who's 15 or 16, then he's breaking the law. I skipped third grade, as you know, and I started school a little bit young. So when I was in high school, I was 14 and I was dating a guy who was just getting out his sophomore year, his senior year, and he was 19. So yeah, I get that could be a little bit unsavory, but he wasn't 27. He wasn't fucking 30. He's not an adult man who makes money and pays Social Security. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have health insurance on his own. There's a difference between being a kid in high school and fucking around with anybody you want to. Listen, when a freshman comes into high school, that's fresh meat for every fucking guy from 10th grade on up. I mean, that's just the way it works. I know.
So, that's not this. That's not this at all.
Monique, I'm not comparing that to this. I'm just making a point that, that a lot of people in high school could have got arrested.
Hey, listen, you know what? More female teachers are getting arrested than there are high school boys that are stripping other girls. I mean, let's be honest.
Teachers when I was going to school.
I get why these women come out and say all these things, but if their intent is to destroy a man, or a woman or whatever the case may be, then, you just got to take the fucking punches. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That's all I got to say.
That was my impression of the cockatoo in the beginning of Loretta.
I had no idea where the fuck you were going with that at all.
Don't do the time if you can do the time. Don't do it. Keep your eye on the sparrow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When the going gets narrow.
Wow, my John sings the song at the end of every show too, so this is actually kind of interesting. Mo, make him stop, please. Okay, so
wait, but hold on. Well, that's Fudgesicle who doesn't know how to spell Fudgesicle. Wow, there's Arm, man. I mean, he's a cool dude. I like that guy a lot.
is the best. Is one of the best boys you will ever meet. He's really
Monique. It's like you and I love each other, I could say, and you and I are. I would consider you a good friend,
Yeah.
and Arm's a friend, But then, like on your forum, they all freaking hate me.
You know what? They're allowed to hate you. They will pick on every facial tick. They will fuck with you. I'll tell you something. You know what? You don't trump Caitlin Hatley anymore. Got to be honest, because she's a fucking gift that keeps on giving. But there's certain people that
Hatley,
Brett Hatley's wife.
Oh, see, I don't even know any of this.
Oh, Jesus. See, yeah, this is a whole nother story. So he has a Twitch channel. He was fired from the Stern Show. He'll tell you that he wasn't, but he was.
Oh, I know.
He was. And so he started a Twitch channel, and I guess Caitlin used to do like these yoga sessions in the morning, and the screen grabs that we have from her are just, there's almost nothing more amazing than this. And then she has like a fans only or OnlyFans site as well. So they're trying to do everything they can to kind of make money and actually have a thing. But I just don't understand why he's not back on radio if he was such an amazing, radio personality.
Look, Monique, Fudgesicle uses me as their avatar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I think that's the classic you spitting.
Monique, honestly, don't you think that's a little obsessed?
I think it's fucking hysterical. Hold on, I'm blowing it up so I can see it. Look at that. It's fucking amazing.
I know. It's like, but to actually get a screen grab and then make it into an avatar, that takes a lot of work.
Nothing is better than the avatar I made for you on our forum with you fucking dancing. Nothing makes me laugh more than that.
I love that one.
What is that from? What video is that from? We should talk that one through.
It's from the Howard Stern dance party on Channel 9, and it's from when Howard wears the bald wig and goes that I'm too sexy for the stage, whatever, and he sings that song, and I'm in the background dancing. I wish somebody gets the whole dance, because you'll laugh your butt off, Monique, if you see me dancing across the stage that whole song.
Nothing makes me laugh more than that. All right, guys, we know that we need to. Howard Stern's gay dance party revisited. Here it is from my forum in 2018.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
Let me see.
Do you know this song?
Oh, no. This is the gay dance party. This is literally the gay dance party where all those gay guys were dressed in
that's not it.
sailor uniforms. I'll have to revisit this some other day because this is beautiful. This is some brilliant work from Benjamin as well.
Yeah, no. What I'm talking about is from Channel 9. If anybody has the old Channel 9 shows.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back to that at some point and we can talk it through. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, but no, that whole, it's like, it's so weird because it's so long ago, Monique, but I remember it like it's yesterday. It's bizarre. Like I have that OCD kind of, I have that kind of memory. Like I remember like little, like every little detail about like things. It's crazy.
That is weird. That's like
I never told you this one. I went out and partied with Enough's Enough, right? And and I got so inebriated, and I think that maybe we were doing coke too. So I ended up getting some girl like drops me off at like 5 a.m. I make out with her, and then I go in. And I'm literally like inebriated, and I'm like, oh my God. So I see Baba Boohai, and then I disappear and I go to sleep in the other studio, like, for the AM station. And I just I say, screw it. And I go and I lie down. So around 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, I see the gorilla, Baba Booey, like walking all through the hallways going, I don't know where he is, Howard. I saw him some point in the morning. And I'm like, oh no, because they're about to play one of my interviews. So I snuck out, ran downstairs, went to the deli, grabbed the bagel, woofed the thing down so I would absorb some of the alcohol, and then went on the air, bombed.
Jesus Christ. And you were partying with these guys.
Yep, Enough's Enough. With Donnie V and Chip Zenough. This is how bad my memory is. I was hanging out with Enough's Enough's manager, Bob, and and the guy picked his nose and
come on. Stop right now.
Right
Stop
in front
it.
of me.
Stop it.
Right.
Was it like a little booger sugar? Was that what he was getting? A little residual because he did some blow?
No. I'm going to throw up. I can't do it.
Well, why'd you do it? Why'd you even say that? It's fucking disgusting.
I'm just showing you how
I
great
told you
memory
to
is.
stop 15 fucking times, and you're gagging about it.
I know. I can't take it. It's oh, man. Oh, I swear, it's so vivid. Ugh.
And he actually ate the boogie?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I once had a friend of mine do the same thing when we were playing guitar together. He was sitting there and did the same thing.
He ate the boogie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is like the maggots in the OJ. I can't. Oh, God, no. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Oh, boy. Where's that from? Air America?
Of course, Team America, my favorite movie ever. Your gag reflex noise was just making me tear up, so of course I had to keep pushing the fucking envelope on your boogie eating story. All right, that's disgusting.
This is how great my memory is. When we did that house party, it was in Tuxedo, New York. That's where it was, and that's where Enough's Enough was playing, and his manager was there, the booger eating Bob.
Booger Bob.
Baba Booger.
Baba Boogie.
Baba Boogie. Oh, speaking of which,
what?
Someone just mentioned Artie. Has anybody heard about Artie? Is he okay?
So I heard a rumor. It's not confirmed yet, and I'm not going to actually speculate any more than I did on the Twitch channel yesterday. However, I'm told that he is down in Florida with his mother, convalescing, basically.
Okay. Well,
that's all I know.
Was that from Scion Z?
No, it was not. This is somebody wrote to me and told me this.
Well, that's good. I hope he gets better. You know, I mean, he's such a funny guy. You know.
Yes, but I feel like listen, the fact that we're going on month 6 having not heard from him, I think is quite possibly a good sign. You know, a lot of people are saying he's in jail, which I do not believe. I do believe that he is somewhere, you know, trying to just get himself better and clean. I just worry, especially with people who have done heroin and stuff like that, how incredibly hard it is to come back from that, especially to come back to like New York and come back to the same people that you knew like in the past. And I think that could be really harmful to him if he does do that. So, you know, we'll see. I wish him all the best. I think it is shocking that we haven't heard from him in like 5 and some odd months. You know, because he's usually the one who needs like that confidence builder of everybody saying, you know, we're with you, Art, take care, make sure everything's good. You know what I mean? Like he needs that. And so I'm actually kind of shocked that we're not there. I really am.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird. What does this say? What is on? He said, Artie launched Sirius and got 0 residuals. Listen, you know what? Artie was making a shit ton of money. So I think, you know, he signed a great deal for him. The fact that he had to, you know, go and stab himself and Tim had to fire him is...
You know, I'll tell you, Money, Captain 100 Proof. I just won the over-under bet of your nose from John. It was set at 784. You know, I got to tell you, Monique, and I just said it again. You have to understand something, and this is for all, you know, not to get too political. There's another, you know. But when I say it helps me get to the next word. If I don't say it, I'm going to stutter. And it's something that I developed even even as I'm doing this show, and we've been on for an hour and a half. I have to use these kind of words. Even when I said Berry Boy Ralph. Do you know why I said Berry Boy Ralph?
Why?
I said that because I couldn't spit out Ralph. So I have to, you know why I said the great limo driver Ronnie? Because I knew I couldn't say Ronnie. So during this whole thing, so when I say it's mostly because it's helping me get to the next word. It's like you really have to be ahead of yourself that much so you can prepare so you don't stutter. And you know what? I reached out to that kid that was on the DNC, Braden.
Oh, tell me, how'd that go?
It was great. I got in touch with his dad. I spoke to him at length, and I said, "Look, here's my number. If Braden ever needs to talk to somebody, I've helped so many kids that stutter, and I still do it to this day. And if he needs somebody to talk to, I have a lot of tricks. So if he ever wants to call me, tell him to call me." So that, but you look, I mean, I always do that. I mean, it doesn't, and then you get the idiots on Twitter. Oh, why? Because if you follow me on Twitter, you probably see this every once in a while. I post, hey, if anyone has a stuttering kid or anyone has a family member who stutters, please DM me and I will call them. And I've done it on every occasion. Father was really, really nice. Like we talked for 20, 30 minutes. I mean, his father happens to be a principal of a school in New Hampshire.
Do you think Joe Biden can help you with your stutter?
Well, Joe Biden has learned the same tricks I have, and it takes a while, but it's like a puzzle. Like you really have to figure out what works for you.
Oh my God, I have the video. I know we got into a serious conversation, but I have the fucking video. We have to play this.
Of the dance party?
I think it's the dance party.
Okay.
Corey Feldman was on that day, right?
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
The song is it's called What Up With Youth. And it's
this is so lame.
So fucking lame.
Gang violence and that kind of thing, trying to make the world a better place.
I had a long talk with him.
That for sure.
What, babe?
I had a long talk with Corey at the Improv on Melrose. He is not a fan of Howard's. He is really angry at Howard.
You know what? Really, with Corey Feldman, I mean, he was supposed to do this big giant reveal of people that abused him, and it wound up being fucking
Oceanside, Florida said Howard without the wig.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something, man. I'm not kidding. I really think that's good for the youth,
There you are.
Yeah. You wrote it yourself? Wrote it and produced it. Let's hear for Corey right now with the song.
Look at that fucking outfit on Howard.
Yeah. Go ahead, Corey.
He's got no arms. Oh, boy. Oh, God.
By the way, Corey Feldman does the exact same dance today. Like this is who's that midget? Who is this? Oh, this is so insane.
I know. It's like public access television. I think they do cut some media dance.
So horrible. He's so horrible.
I think that's me in the background. Okay, wait.
I'm almost guaranteeing myself that you're going to say you banged one of these girls.
Maybe. Yeah, there I am in the background. What the hell do they have me wear for this?
How horrible is this?
Oh, it's awful.
It's fucking killing me right now. I am. Did you people just pull people off the fucking street? Like, seriously.
I think we did. I think there were people that came into the radio show that week.
I am crying. This is just one of the best. I cannot believe we got into a conversation about this. I just got to finish it. Let's just finish it.
No, of course.
Okay.
What's up with you? What's up with you?
Are you laughing up again?
Oh, I'm listening to you dance. Oh my my fucking God.
Yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, no.
This made me laugh. This is, oh, God damn. That was a great fucking giggle.
Yeah, that was fun. You know, a lot of that stuff is classic.
That was when Howard was at peak fucking stupidity performance. Like, you know, that he would embarrass himself like that and get dressed in an outfit like he would never do something like that today. You know, now he has to be like cool guy in Barbados and shit like that. Then he could make fun of himself and actually.
Monique.
I'll look it up, Jackie. John, what does Mo owe you for playing a clip you're in? Oh, that was a great fucking laugh. All right, so I guess we're going to wrap this shit show up now.
Okay, I'm going to open. This is a mail. This is a residual check. Let's see what I get. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow.
Tell me.
This is from Dude, Where's My Car? $18.25.
For Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, played on, let's see, free TV, internet rental, video, DVD, and pay TV.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, go celebrate.
Well, that's at least 3 or 4 beers at the, at the pub.
Oh, okay. So somebody asked this question because I've spoken to them before too. Why won't you go on with, what is that? Who are these podcasters? They're more obsessed with you than I am.
It's really bizarre. It's total. I mean, this loser in Rochester who literally has no talent, but all he does, has he goofed on you yet?
Oh yeah, I was like one of their early shows.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. I mean, the guy. But here's the thing: his whole concept is who are these podcasts, right? Now, how are you doing a good job if you're only focusing on mine every single show? I mean, there are like a million podcasts now. Shouldn't you be like going on, like doing bits on all the different podcasts? But no, he just is focused on me. But you know what? They don't, as the great Reggie Jackson once said, Monique, they don't boo nobodies.
I do believe you actually quoted that when your psychotic fucking doppelganger, Sal D, decided that he was going to make a post about why are you all picking on John? I'm thinking of a lawsuit because I have all the time and money in the world. Oh, and P.S. I'm going to chop off 2 of my fucking fingers to show John how much I love him. What is up with that?
Well, first of all, people think that Sal D is me. Now, you know he's not. And
do I know? I mean, I only know that you don't lie. So do I know that Sal D is not you? Everybody thinks that. That's part of the conspiracy theories of John, by the way.
Okay, Monique. First of all, I've had the guy on my podcast. He was on YouTube. Anybody could watch the interview with him. And he's there with his bandage on his thumb because he chopped half of that off. So that's that. And why should you not believe? Have I ever lied to you, Monique?
No, I'm just saying that everybody thinks that. Okay, number one, I have told you on several occasions that you should have absolutely nothing to do with this human being. But then he also weirdly will tweet things and then take them down immediately.
I know. I had him on my vodcast just to tell him publicly, and so it's documented. Do not harm anybody and do not harm yourself because this guy is he calls me his Lord and Savior. And I go, dude, I'm not your Lord and Savior. He goes, how do you know that? And I mean, he's like, but the guy's in love with me. I don't know what else I could do,
But you humor him. You're not supposed to humor psychos. Like, seriously.
Oh, wait. No. I had him on once.
That's humoring him.
I don't respond to, I rarely ever DM him or respond to anything he says.
I know, but he's weird and he shouldn't have your information.
Yeah, you know what? And so half the people in your chat room right now. What the hell am I going to do?
You know what? I'm going to tell you, not going to lie. I mean, other than dick pics, nobody has ever threatened me with chopping their dick off to prove their loyalty to me. I mean, it's just weird. It's creepy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not asking him to do any of this.
I know. It's just weird to me that you would humor him. That's all I'm saying.
Well, how am I humoring him? Tell me how I'm humoring him. I'm just curious.
You've had him on your show.
I had him on my show one time, like I just said.
Yes, he's the guy, John. Arm is on saying, is he the guy who invaded Howard's house?
A, to make everyone know that he's not me, and B, to tell him to not hurt himself. I thought it would be productive because he was saying, if he was begging me to come on. I didn't want him to do anything rash to come on, so I said, I'll for one time I'll have him on, and that'll be it. So you know what? Yes, it was a decision I had to make. I talked to my moderator about it. I did it one time and one time only, and I begged him to not chop anything off ever again. So I don't know what else I could do.
Did you ever think in your lifetime you would actually say that sentence?
No.
I begged him to never chop anything.
And by the way, Monique, he DM'd me the picture of his thumb, like cut off. And you know what? It's something that I don't want to see. It's like really disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just think he's weird. Those are people you never want to get involved with.
I know that, and I had to make a decision. Is it wrong or right? I don't know, but
I mean, he did just post like last week.
Yeah, but guess what, Monique? He hasn't chopped anything off since I had him on. So to me, that's
thank God for that.
Yeah, that's a success story. Who knows? Maybe I saved some of his limbs. Can I promote something?
Absolutely. Go on, babe.
Tomorrow at noon PST. I know it's PDT, but I like to say PST. Pisses off one of these idiots. But anyway, at noon LA time, 3 East Coast time, I will have my attorney, Michael Popok, on to answer any questions. Monique, you should come on. And if you have any questions, you could direct all questions to him. Anybody who wants to come on in the chat, you can come and ask him questions. He's going to come on live. He's a famous litigator. I mean, his name speaks for itself. But he'll be on tomorrow. Check it out.
Okay, so yeah, one final question, because Fudgesicle, of course, needs to ask you this. What's with these people that attack you with the fucking N-word?
Oh, I know, Monique. And you know what?
How do you not have that word removed in moderation?
Okay. So here you go. Because again, like you ask questions as if I'm doing something wrong. It sounds like you're accusing me of something. But now I'm going to tell you what happens. I block. As you know, on YouTube, you could block. In fact, you told me how to do it.
Yeah.
And I block the N-word, and I block any disparaging word.
Overtly disparaging, racist
anything
shit. Yeah.
that is racist. I couldn't say racist, so I said disparaging. But anything that's racist, I block on like all the words in the thing. But here's what happens. Those people come in as the name, like as their title is the N-word. So in other words, it's not what they write. It comes in as their like.
So it's not Fudgesicle 2020.
Instead
N-word?
it's N-word. And there's no way in what you told me how to do it. There's no way to block a name, especially since they change it up and they'll write the N-word 10 times. Then they'll write penis 20 times. Then they'll write the N-word 15 times. So there's no way to block it. Now, I have a moderator, Sean. He puts it in slow mode. But sometimes if he's not around, it doesn't go in slow mode. He can't catch it, or I can't catch it at the time. It was embarrassing because it happened once when I had Hal Sparks on, and I was like, I don't know who it is, but really, Monique,
it's crazy.
This is when it gets sick. Like, here's the thing: even all the people who've been trashing me here and everything, I'm fine with that. I really don't have as thin a skin.
This is light trashing.
Yeah, I know. I don't like. I really don't have the thin skin that you think I do. If I think it's you trashing me, then yeah, I'll be like, but you're my friend. Like that. I will. If it's a friend of mine, yeah, I would get hurt. But like with all the people trashing me here, I don't really care. But when it comes to a guy who really, like, how much hate do you have in your soul to keep on writing the N-word?
One other thing, and it's the last thing, and then I'm going to let you go. But everybody was having a good time with one of your shows not too long ago, where the chick that you had on left her left her video and audio running.
Yeah, what did she say?
Fudgesicle, you have to help me out here because
because it was a nice interview. I didn't, it was fun. And then I know she was cursing, but I don't know who. Somebody told me it was like a boyfriend or somebody was saying something. People, of course, try and say she was bad-mouthing me. I don't know. But, she's like, I don't think she was bad-mouthing me because Oceanside, Florida she said she was not prepared.
Oh, no, she was actually trashing you about not being prepared for the interview.
Oh, well, that's what Fudgesicle says. Well, well, that would seem odd because, I mean, her stipulation before she came on was don't get into policy questions with her because she doesn't want to talk about policy. So I had to keep it light. So, but, I was prepared. I knew every movie she was in. I don't know what the hell. I don't know why she would say that. And I don't even know if that's what she said because it really wasn't that. It wasn't that easy to make out. I mean, be my guest and try and see if you can. But, do I really care if she says I wasn't prepared? I've been doing interviews for like 10 years now. I mean, I always do research. I always prepare. So it would be ridiculous to say that I'm not prepared.
I know. Like just Paul, I feel bad for the podcast after that. John tried to prep and got scolded anyway.
I don't look. She's a sweet girl. Even if she was saying that, I don't.
Well, rule number 17.5 on StreamYard is delete the fucking person when they're done with their segment with you. You know what I mean? So you never have to worry about it again.
What's his face? I had on Ed Asner.
Yeah.
And some people like to stick around for the other guests, and Ed was enjoying it. So sometimes I let him hang out because I feel it's rude to just delete them if they want to hang out and listen to the next guest.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to just.
I guess
she wasn't there. She wasn't there, so who cares? But and it was like a weird moment, and of course.
By the way, do I really care if Angela Belcamino was? I mean, really, does it make a difference in my life? No. Either way.
Oh my God! Everybody was laughing at the Ed Asner thing. Ed Asner looked like death, and he was eating. He was eating. That was the funniest thing.
He was like eating like grape nuts.
Yes.
Oh man, and I couldn't hear him, and that was a debacle.
It will be better. I know I was goofing about it, but like, who cares? But you know what? When you have on people like that and you want to kind of give them a good face forward, I think it's a good thing for you to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I agree.
I love doing this. I know you love doing this. I mean, I've always loved doing this. I've been doing this fucking podcast for literally about 10 years now. So I was at Podcast One. I was John Lovett's club. I was at the arcade, and now, first I was here, then in the arcade, then I'm back here. To me, it's like a job. I treat it like a job, and I really want to be prepared. And, I want to have interesting guests. For instance, I'm going to have the attorney on tomorrow, and I think that'll be interesting for everybody.
I think that's awesome.
I argue with Scott on Twitter all the time.
I know you do.
And I've done it on the Stern Show a billion times. I mean, to me, that's more. And yeah, I'm welcome. I would certainly have, a right-wing person on, but I right now I haven't. If anybody thinks of somebody, like, please let me know. And Monique, I'm gonna answer Gary Puppet's question here because this is another misnomer. How come you don't get a job in Hollywood punching up scripts that you wrote for Leno? Okay, now Monique. Okay, I just want to. I shouldn't have to do this, but people think. I was on Jay Leno for 10 years until 2014. Okay, I was at Bite Size TV. I wrote for the Kareem. I was the head writer for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. I was executive producer of the Stephanie Miller Show. I fucking was a host, writer, and correspondent for Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship on CBS only like a year and a half ago. And it had the highest ratings in that time slot. It's like amazing. Like they don't know that I'm constantly doing stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm on shows all the time. It's just amazing to me. The freaking Donald Trump call was like I made global news. I was on every freaking news broadcast. Like people think I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. And I don't know why. Well, why aren't you punching up fucking scripts then?
Punching up scripts. That comes from the old
such a tacky thing. I know.
Scripts. I mean,
It's just fucking with you.
Please. Go punch up a script.
So stupid. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for doing the show. I really appreciate it. And all right, thank you so much for coming on.